Yes, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to BBL Central Podcast for another week. Round 7 is just about upon us. Round 6 is in the bag. Another crazy week of BBL action. Close results, no catches. That one still gets it doesn't make common sense, but anyway, no catches. And another piss poor performance by Glenn Maxwell. What can we say? How are you going there, Rossco?
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. It's good to be back again. Feels like these rounds are going just way too quick. I feel like we're recording every couple of days at the moment. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm decided to wear my Aussie shirt today to obviously dine our great effort in the Ashes of winning 4-1 against the Poms. Suck on that, Piers Morgan, after we thought we were the worst team in 15 years and we were going to lose 5-0. So suck on that, Piers Morgan. That's all I've got to say. Plus, I also want to keep my Sixers jersey clean for the game when I go on Sunday to watch them play against the Hurricanes as well. So, yeah, but on that, I'm doing okay. The round was okay. I did lose about 300 spots with a 941. I ended up VC looping Jack Edwards, even though he was only on 35 after the first game. I was very, very close to doing what you did, Brad, and captain Cooper Conley, but I didn't do it, because it could have been a hell of a lot worse. The only probably downfall was for me this round was not bringing in Benny Dorsius. After his double he had last time, I decided I'm not doing it again. And, of course, he comes out and scores about 220 points for the double. And there was just some other subpar stores in there. Maxi was absolutely rubbish with 2 points. And there was a few other guys there as well that I've already traded out that were pretty average score-wise, but still sitting around about 1,600, so it's not the worst, still in the top 3%. So reasonably happy with that.
Yeah, well, before we get on to Tim, I'm a bit like you, but actually I'm a lot worse than you because everything went to shit for me, including the current out. Well, that just meant a forced trade I wasn't looking at making, but I did make it anyway. So, hello, Lloyd Pope. He came into my team at the very last minute. And so, yeah, just a touch over 900. Not a great week, but I was still pretty much good for my head-to-heads. I think I won all but one of them. Thanks, DVG, for smashing me. And, yeah, so I'm set nicely for my head-to-heads, which is really what I've got a big focus on. So now that we've done me, now that we've done Rossco, we better hand the platform over to someone who might not have had a bad week. Tim, how did you go?
Yeah, look, pretty average, boys. No, look, it was a great round. I jagged it. VC looped Joel Davies. Rossco was giving me shit like you absolutely meant to do that on purpose. I said,
yeah, right.
I don't have Edwards, and Davies had the best average out of the rest of the players, so it wasn't exactly rocket science. Yeah, unfortunately for me, I just couldn't get to Edwards, and had I been able to, I absolutely would have gone there. But I didn't want a boost to do it, knowing that I'd need a boost for this round. So, look, I had Davies, I had Philippi, who pretty much stunk it up. Abbott wasn't much better, and Dwarshus did really well. So, look, total score was 1189 for the round. Yeah, everything just sort of fell into place. I did have Curran as the late out, but I'd had things in place I had Cooper Connolly on my bench to come on, and the plan was to actually switch him for Kellaway and not play Kellaway, play Curran over Kellaway. But then with Curran out, had to play Kellaway anyway, and Connolly came in. So Kellaway didn't get too many runs or too many points at all, even though he did get a bowling over. So, yeah, it wasn't really anything great, and I think his score was the one that dropped out. But outside of that, boys, I think I was ranked about 7K, and I've basically halved my rank in a round. So, no, it was good. Still a couple of 100 points behind you, boys, and, yeah, season ain't over yet, I guess.
Mate, where have you been all season, mate? Where have you been?
It's three good rounds in a row after 3 really crap rounds.
I've just got some information, Brad, that apparently it's not coming up on YouTube yet. If you can have a look at that for me, if you can.
This is Dave again,
Yep.
Isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know what he keeps doing. He keeps going to the wrong channel or something because it's definitely on there. He does this every week.
He said it is now.
He does it every week.
He did that last week too.
Yeah, you tell him it's in the linen cupboard where it's always been, or top drawer behind the Old Spice.
All right, let's not waste time. Here we go.
Now that we know he's here, get with a bigger sticker, seriously.
And now it's time for Around the Grounds with Rossco.
Sorry to get in on you there, Rossco. I cut you off, but anyway,
it's all right. I mean, I wasn't really prepared, but that's okay. Just as well I've made some notes here.
Well, it is just as well you've made some notes because there's a hell of a lot happening. There's a lot of players leaving, and there's a lot of players all of a sudden becoming available. A stack load of Australian players, and some uncertainties over some other overseas players. What's happening?
So there's not really much to report on overseas players at the moment, other than obviously Zaman Khan has signed with the Brisbane Heat. So he's expected to play for the Heat this round. I think it's tomorrow night their game is. I think it is. Those squads will be announced in about an hour's time. Other than that, just some news on the Australian players. So Steve Smith and Todd Murphy are expected to be playing for the Sixers on Sunday against the Hurricanes. Bo Webster and Jake Weatherald looking like playing game 2 of their double. So obviously that could take into effect guys like Tim Ward, who's most likely going to drop out of that team for Jake Weatherald. And then I'd imagine Bo Webster will probably come in for Will Prestridge. So if you are looking to bring in Tim Ward, I probably wouldn't do it. If you don't have McDermott, it might be a safer option for you at a similar price. Brendan Doggett's expected to be named today for the Melbourne Derby for the Renegades. Alex Carey is going to be named for the Strikers for Game 2. I don't think it'll have any effect on Mac Harvey. I think he'll still be in the team. He'll probably just slot down a spot maybe to number 4 instead of number 3, and obviously Carey will take the gloves. And Josh Inglis to play for the Scorchers on Sunday. Which I will say is a little bit relevant for those who were looking to offload Aaron Hardy, because obviously Inglis will probably slot in at 4 and Aaron Hardy will probably slot down to about number 6 or 7. So I would say he's probably still a hold if you can. I mean, he has got a high BE, but he will bowl 4 overs. So I would be holding on to him if you can, but if it's your ticket to Matt Short or only ticket to Matt Short or Overton, then yeah, I don't mind it.
All right, I think we've got Bergs from Supercoach 360. I think it's Bergs. I'm not sure who.
I reckon it has to be Bergs. It's got to be Bergs.
He's asking, is that Tim Gunston we have on the panel today? Of course, referring to Tim and his shaving nicks that he's got this
what
week.
About? I just want to know. What about that? Have they found his brother yet? Is there still a reward for that, or wanted, or whatever it is? Brad, have you still got that picture in case anyone's looking for him?
Yeah, that was funny. So 3 weeks ago.
Still funny.
I love Berg's reference, throwing his age, referring to Norman Gunston with the bloody bit of masking tape on his head or whatever. It's I'm obviously not cool enough to be Nelly with the Band-Aid on the cheek. So yeah. To anyone who views, if they missed the last episode, look, I had some bits cut off my face a couple of days ago. So yeah, sporting a couple of very fancy bandages.
It's what happens when you're a white fella with grey hair.
That's it, mate. That's it. I spend way too much time in the sun, especially growing up. Joys of being a PE teacher for 20 years.
Now, a quick one, Rossco. This might actually catch you on the hop, but what's happening with Hassan Ali?
What is happening with us?
I don't believe he's in this week.
So I think they've looked. They've done. I think they must be working it out on the pitches that they're playing on, because Shamsi played the first game when he was available, and they left out Hassan Ali, and they've done the same thing again this week. So to me, I think it's gonna be more of a pitch-related rotation type thing. I think it's important to stay away from guys like Shamsi. I know Alan had a question about that, which we'll come to after. I think Luke Wood's probably an avoid too. You just don't know. The only overseas player I feel safe in that Strikers team is Jamie Overton. It's probably the only one with the job security. So it's just going to come down to the pitch that they're playing on, Brad, more than anything. So you'll probably see a lot of that rotation stuff happening. I mean, Jamie Overton does go after round 8 to play the ODIs for England, and so does some other players. So I guess they've just got an extra one there to fill in once he goes for the last round.
All right, that's actually Big Ted. He's got the he's claiming the Supercoach 360 tag.
Yeah, did he get that?
Be a little hint that there might be a bit of content coming for the old 360 fans out there. Season. But we'll leave this. We'll leave that as a surprise for people. Won't you, Ted? We'll until he confirms something with us, we won't say too much. All right. So, well, that's about breaking news. Anything more to add?
No, that's it. No, I think that's pretty much everything covered off. Just keep an eye on the pages for final teams, any mail, any articles. You know, Ben from Honeyball does a fantastic job keeping updates with the availability calendars and whatnot. So, just be wary of certain guys that you're going to trade in with obviously the international players on the loom. So, yeah, it's going to take big ramifications to some Sixers players for round 9 as well, because there's talk that, not only will Steve Smith play round 9, but obviously Mitch Starker's looking to play round 9 too. So, again, something just to keep an eye out for, because, Sam Curran's come in there as well. So just be cautious on who you're trading in. I mean, Sixers have got the double round 9, but they've also got a bye round 8 too as well.
Stealing my gig, Rossco.
Oh, well, okay, we'll go to the draw then. Let's go.
There's not much to talk about now.
Let's go. Come on, Brad, let's go. Roll it over. Roll the tape.
Yeah, look, as for the draw, boys and girls,
Hang on.
here we go. Look out.
Oh, there he is.
What? Are you still wanted, mate? They still looking for you?
Yeah. That was so 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Guys, as in relation to the draw, look, there's not much to it from here on out. The Hurricanes and the Strikers both have doubles this week in round 7. They do actually play each other. It's the first game of the round. So they've got the first game of the round this evening. And then from there forwards, Renegades have the double next week and the Sixers have the bye. And then Hurricanes have the bye in the final round, so you don't need them anymore unless you're planning on looping, but you're probably not going to want 3 or 4 of them like I've got at the moment. And the Sixers have another double in round 9. So, over the last 3 rounds, you've got Strikers, Hurricanes, Renegades, and Sixers all have doubles. And then the other side of that is Sixers have a bye and the Hurricanes have a bye in the last 3 rounds as well. Outside of that, boys, there's not much else to talk about.
That's it.
There's not, is there? We'll be talking NRL soon at this rate.
Well, that's it.
We will be. All right, now before we get on to the most traded in and outs, we'll just have a couple of comments. A comment on this no catch. Did you happen to watch this at all, Tim?
No, I missed this one. Sorry, boys.
All right, so this was Ashton Turner. He goes up for the ball there. He captures it in both hands. He's cleanly got the ball, and then he falls to the ground, as you can see in the second picture there, which is for those people that have got on YouTube or could see it. Rossco, what do you think? Was this a catch or was this not a catch? It was given a no catch, by the way. Those people that haven't caught up.
Yeah,
look,
right.
Well, the rules of the law state it's a no catch, but I hate that rule because in comparison to the catch that Mitch Stark had taken off him, Mitch Stark actually used the ground to help him catch the ball, so to speak.
Yeah.
Whereas Ashton Turner had already caught the ball and lost balance. And that's obviously why the ball hit the ground. But he had full control of the ball the whole time. Look, Ashton Turner came out and said, look, he goes, it is what it is. He said that's what the rules state. But I think we all know what he was really thinking. And even watching the coverage on Fox last night, Mike Hussey's just like, okay, the rules say it's out, but I don't like that rule. So, look, Marty I agree totally too. But, yeah, I think that's just – it should have been a catch, but unfortunately the rules state it's not if the ball touches the ground, even though he was in control of it. So, Disappointing because obviously, Ollie Peake was the man who he would have got and who went on to make the winning runs and hit a 6 off the last ball to win the game. But at the same time, in the power play or the power surge, Ashton Turner did drop him off an absolute dolly during the surge as well. So he probably should have been out a lot earlier in the piece. But, look, it's hard to argue against it when it's in the rules, isn't it?
No, 100%. Marty commented in.
Yeah.
No real difference in catching normally and then throwing it into the air, in my opinion. Again, the only thing I'll lay to this, it's very similar to the NRL and the way they use their bunker. Sometimes common sense rule is not applied when it should be applied.
Correct.
All right, and this was just a common sense no-brainer. It was a catch every day. Yep. And instead they apply the rule book. Right, and I hate it when the bunker does this in NRL. They just discredit common sense right out the window and just go on a white line for exactly what's written in those pages of that rule book, which is not real. It doesn't lead to great football. But anyway.
Well, I was watching the game live and I saw the umpires give it out, and I'm like, okay. And then he started walking off, and then the next minute the umpires are standing to each other and they're talking in their little thing, and I'm like, what's going on here? And then obviously goes up as a soft signal is out, and then obviously that happened. So, obviously the umpires probably didn't see the ball touching the ground, and they've just obviously got a call to check it, and that's what they've done. And unfortunately, it's the right decision, even though it's not.
And David says if he threw the ball into the air before it hit the ground, it would have been given out.
Yeah, correct.
100% right. Again, the thing does not pass the pub test, not one little bit. All right, most traded out and most traded in. Rossco, do you want to hit it out or do you want me to start?
Yeah, I'll do the outs and you can do the ins if you want. I think a lot of these completely make sense. Tom Curran at number 1, Mitch Marsh number 2, Sean Abbott number 3, Sam Harper at 4, Hardy, Barbara Azam, Josh Philippi, Jack Edwards, Glenn Maxwell, and Shadab Khan. I think, obviously, Tom Curran was a laid out last night with hip injury. We don't know too much more on that, but I think, you're probably best off to move him on to a striker or someone else. Sean Abbott completely makes sense. Even though they've got a double round 9, a lot of us are going to probably have around about 5 to 6 sixes anyway. And with him on a bye next round, he's the one that makes sense. I think he's got a high break even as well of about 100 and something. So you'll be able to pick him back up again for the double in round 9 for a lot cheaper in price. So it's one of the trades that I've made, and I think it makes complete sense to me.
No, absolutely. Any of that list there, Tim? Did you anything to comment on any of them?
No, the interesting one. I don't know. Like with everyone jumping off Sam Harper, is he not possibly worth a hold? He's one of the top run scorers for the league so far, isn't he? Like he's still wearing the bloody yellow cap. So why would you necessarily get rid of the top run scorer for the comp so far?
Well, I'll tell you why. Because most guys are going to need that cash to get to to either Matt Short or to Jamie Overton, and you'd be selling him as a bat only over guys like your Aaron Hardys, your Sean Abbott's even, or whoever. Like, well, not selling so much Sean Abbott, but Aaron Hardy, Cooper Connolly, Jack Edwards, any of those guys, just because he's a bat only. I think that makes him a sell over any of those other sort of guys with those, dual roles.
My only thinking is,
what's that?
He nearly made 100 grand, hasn't he?
He's made 80K, yeah, but he's starting to drop cash. He's just starting to lose cash as well.
Sorry, Tim, you were going to say?
Yeah, just thinking more. He's the top wicketkeeper by a substantial amount, whereas like you'd kind of think that if he's the best player in that position, then he's one that you'd probably want to hold. But then, I don't know. They've already had 2 doubles, so yeah. I mean, I understand it from that point of view. I just think it's interesting, and be interested to talk more about it.
Sorry, Brad, just quickly, the ones I forgot to mention too when I was just doing the news before is that with the Heat, with Usman Khawaja and Marnus Labuschagne are obviously expected to be named for the game tomorrow too. Michael Ness is not expected to be named. He's expected to get a rest, but this could have a big ramification on those who are still holding Jack Wildermuth, because you'd imagine he's probably going to drop down the order with those two guys coming in. So it's obviously something else to keep an eye on as well with Jack Wildermuth.
And I reckon he could actually end up at 7. So
he could. That's the thing. 6 or 7 or something maybe. Yeah.
Get pushed right down. My question is.
That's right. 6-7. Yes.
Yeah.
I spend way too much time around my kids.
Now, Tim, you're the draw man. The Sixers have a double in the last game.
Yes,
Jack
they do.
Edwards, would you really be selling him? Is there a lot of sense in this one?
No, look, for me personally, I think that the fact that he misses, I mean, is it people just selling because of his price and they need the money to get to Matt Short or someone very similar? I don't know. It's, I mean, most of the Hurricanes players have lost value, or they're certainly not. They're not worth the $200K that some of the other players are. So is it a case of you've got to get rid of some of your other Hexy guys? Look, I would think Edwards would be in a similar boat as far as I'm concerned as to Sammy Harper. They're guys that you probably want to keep in your team because they've got that higher ceiling in those positions. Obviously, with Edwards, he can bat and bowl, so the versatility's there, but he just keeps taking wickets. I don't know why you'd want to drop him.
But at least Edwards, A, bats high, and B, he has a double.
Yeah,
not really so much batting high when he's batting at number 7 now with Sam Curran in that team, though.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah,
he's still going to play 3 games over the next 3 rounds, and you obviously finish with the double. So he's got a single, then a bye, then a double. I don't know if I had him, I'd be holding.
Can I just say something quickly? So I've just had a quick look at who Jack Edwards is being traded out to, and you guys will agree that a hell of a lot of these do not make sense, right? Jamie Overton, maybe, don't mind that. That's okay, right? Liam Scott makes no sense. Matt Short, yes. Chowdhury, no. Owen, no. Jordan, no. McDermott, no. Chris Lynn, hell no. Lloyd Pope, definitely no. And Tim Ward, no way in the world. That's who these guys are trading Jack Edwards to. So a lot of them do not make any sense.
Yeah,
but if it's guys that are boosting, sorry,
but for $10K less, you'd be better off selling Aaron Hardy over Jack Edwards.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So it's just.
Yeah. I agree on that one. I would absolutely sell Hardy before I sell Edwards. I totally agree with that call.
I know that Hardy's playing this round, and so's Edwards because it's next round they're on a bye. Sorry, so they're both playing. So I don't know. Anyway,
it just sort of was a bit weird to me, that one. I just it'd be the last of any of those big ones. Yeah. I'd even sell Connolly before him, and Connolly to me is an almost why are people selling him as well. I'm not quite. Because that was like first thing this morning when I got up, Connolly was one of the most traded out. I'm thinking this just looks mad, but I'm good to see that there's some common sense has come into it. He's
due to make runs again, Connolly too. That's the thing, and he's been getting a lot of points from fielding and bowling too. So if you can certainly hang on to him, I would be for sure. He's got a great role, batting 3 and bowling 4 overs too. So because as you've seen this year, like compared to any other BBL season. There's been a hell of a lot of spin bowled this season, boys. You saw that game against the Adelaide played against Perth. Now, Perth's always been a batting, flat deck wicket for the fast bowlers, and they bowled 16 overs of spin there.
Quick question, sorry, without notice. Is part of that the fact that early on in the tournament there was a few teams that were losing with not making the over rate. So obviously you bring the fielder in and then the next over it's 2 fielders in or whatever.
I don't think so. I think it's just pitch dependent, to be honest with you, really. No one thought everyone said Koss was going to be a beautiful batting deck, and look how much spin was bowled there. Even last night, the game at the Sixers game that was just played like last night with Menenti, the amount he bowled a heap of overs. Joel Davies bowled overs. Like you've got Todd Murphy to come back into that team too. So obviously, yeah, they get through their overs quicker. There's no doubt about that. But it seems to be having effect too with the spinners, especially left-arm spinners to right-arm batters.
Don't forget, we have had years where we've had a lot of spin. 16 overs is way excessive, right? Don't get me wrong. But we're missing these days Rashid Khan, who would always get through 4. Stephen O'Keefe has obviously moved on and retired. Remember him and Murphy going tandem for about 2 to 3 years. There was a couple of spinners for the Renegades from overseas. The names just suddenly. Sunil Narayan as well, the medium pace sort of spin. We used to have a lot of this, and there's apart from the 2 leg spinners down there at Hobart. We're sort of getting quite a few Australian spinners, which is good to see. Sweppo is always bowled, despite the fact for Brisbane he never got any wickets, and he barely gets any for the Stars as well. So they'll be regretting that one.
There is a case for what you're saying, Tim, about getting through the overs. Like that you see Matt Short bowling overs. Like he's not there. He's there to obviously take a wicket, but obviously there to get through a couple overs quickly. Same with Glenn Maxwell. But it's.
I think if you're cutting it fine, like if they're bowling initially a lot of speed, then maybe they've got to make up some overs and throw the spinners around a bit more. But who knows? Change your pace, pick up some cheap wickets, and go from there.
The most traded in, I'll just do the top 3. We'll do these in sections of 3s, I think. Top 3 are Jamie Overton, Liam Scott from the Strikers, and Matt Short. Jamie Overton and Matt Short make complete sense. You probably should be running 2 of them. You guys agree?
Yeah, 100%. Even though Matt Short's not in great form, I just think you have to have him.
Yeah, absolutely. Just the damage he could do to you.
Liam Scott, I have a real worry about. Oh, Jesus, he could not only topple down the batting order, but he's really only getting through a couple of overs a game. It's not, you got to get to that 3rd over to get your bowling bonuses. What do you think, Rossco?
I've been sitting on the fence on this all day. I had him in my team. I took him out of my team. I spoke to a couple other guys, and then I put him back in the team. Look, he's got, in the 6 games he's played so far, or 5 or 6 games, he's got 3 scores of 80 plus. So even with Kerry coming back into the team, it won't affect him so much. He'll stay at number 4. But the question is about the overs. Like, if it's going to be anything like where they find a pitch like Perth the other day where Jamie Overton didn't bowl at all and Liam Scott only bowled 1 over and they pile on the overs with spin, then absolutely. But I think this could be another game for that too, because you've seen No Ali in the team. They've brought Shamsi in, so they're going to have 3 spin options. They're going to have Matt Short, they're going to have Lloyd Pope, and they're going to have Shamsi. So that could easily be 12 of those overs gone already. I, at the moment, have him in my team, but I'm also waiting to see what happens with the toss, and that'll make me make my decision. But I can see why people are bringing him in, but I'm so just not sure on this one. He's far from a must. Like I think Matt Short should be higher on the list than him.
Dave just said they're freeing up cash. That's why those weird ass trades for old mate was going in. Yeah, no, I've got my reservations on Liam Scott. I actually think that when Carey comes in and if Head plays, which it looks like
it's already confirmed, Head won't take play.
Okay, so Carey comes in
for the World Cup. So
I thought Liam would have gone down the order, but that's neither here nor there. The next 3 are, and I'll probably throw to you, Tim, for these 3: Chowdhury, Owen, and Jordan. Look, Chowdhury at number 4. I don't know why there's such a rush to get him when he's not bowling, but I would have thought that Mitch Owen and Chris Jordan should have been above him. But what do you think of these trades?
Yeah, look, Owen priced at
cheap
123.
114. Mitch Owen's 114k.
Yeah,
Chaudhry's 123 and Owen's 114k. So, look, it's I don't know. I'd be going Owen over Chaudhry first. But look, I can understand it. They're, I guess, historically over the last couple of seasons, they're probably the 3 biggest scorers for the Hurricanes. So consistently, I mean, you've got Ellis and Meredith as well, but they've both been a little bit up and down. I started with both of them earlier on in the tournament and dumped them pretty quickly. So look, I don't know. I think history says that those three are probably your best cracks. If you want to go left field, then you go McDermott or Wade or something like that. But is there any expectations of anyone from like the Australian team coming into the Hurricanes? They're pretty set, aren't they, at the moment?
Didn't you listen at the top?
You didn't listen to the news, did you? You didn't listen to the news. You was in another planet, absolute other planet.
That was so half an hour ago.
Weatherald is coming in, and
yeah, of course. Yeah. So look, that again, it's going to throw a bit more of a spanner in the works and see who really drops out and whether or not those guys play. See who plays 2 games, or do they mix things up a little bit? Depends probably on the results of the first one.
Sorry. I was just going to say that I'm just going to have my 2 bob quickly on the Chowdhury trade in too. Not only do not like it where he's batting now, but I actually think he could drop down even further when Bo Webster comes into the team. Because I think Webster comes in front of him, and I reckon Chowdhury probably goes to 6, and then you'll have probably Wade coming in at 7. So, and he hasn't bowled an overall season. So to me, I think at 123K, I think for 10K more, I would be getting Nathan Ellis if it's that. It might not even be 10K. I just think Ellis is a world-class bowler. We've seen what he's done for the Hurricanes. We've seen what he's done for the Aussies in T20. But I'd much rather have Nathan Ellis over Chowdhury.
I'd even get Luke Wood, but we'll get to that one. Our next 4 in the most sold, and get ready for this one, Ross, because I'm going to throw to you on this. I do not agree with a single one of these people getting traded in. So every single one of them baffles me. Tim Ward, Ben McDermott, Mac Harvey, and Chris Lynn. Is there a reason any one of those should actually be included in your team?
Well, the only one I can make a case for is Ben McDermott, if anything, right? The bloke's going to bat 4. He's not in great form at the moment, but it might be a cash thing, Brad. So that's probably why. I mean, last round I was trading in Tim Ward, and then until I saw the news about Webster and Weatherald, and I reversed the Tim Ward trade, and I bought in Dermy because I only had that much cash. So out of those 3 between Ward, McDermott, and Harvey, the one I'll probably go to, if anything, is Ben McDermott. But I think it's a cash thing more than anything. You'd probably find guys are probably selling like Glenn Maxwell to him, to Ben McDermott or one of these guys. Tim Ward, I'm really worried about his job security. Mac Harvey, I'd imagine he's going to stay in the side, but I reckon he'll slot down to about number 5 and won't keep for that second game when Carey comes in. So I think he's a no-go for absolutely sure. The dual position's fantastic, but what's the point if he's not going to be keeping? Let's be honest. So out of those guys, probably Dermy's the only one I'd go near. But Chris Lynn, oh, God, he's hit and miss. He's really hit and miss. I mean, I would be getting that extra 8K, and I would be investing in Mitch Owen and just for a bit more upside. Does bowl overs 10 as well. So, or even Chris Jordan or someone else over Chris Lynn. I'm not really sold on that trade in.
All right, I'll just mention one player that a lot of people and a lot of teams seem to have missed. I'm not really sure why. But Luke Wood, yes, he's 122, so he's only just a fraction bit more. Would you rather go Luke Wood? I mean, he's basically got the whole bowling attack to himself in the pace department at the strikers. Like, there's not a lot of competition, so he's going to be bowling 4 overs both games. Is there a reason?
I'm just worried about his job. The rotation of the as I said, between the international players for the strikers, other than Overton. It is a concern that it could happen. I don't know. It may not, but it's a risk I'm not willing to take. That's the only thing. I mean, what happens if he plays the first game, but then he doesn't play? He has a shit game tonight, and then he doesn't play the second game. This is the thing. I could be wrong. Don't get me wrong, but there's just been. I'm not sold on that rotation there. You just don't know. That's the thing.
Perfect example of someone that you should play from your bench, just in case doesn't get named for that second game, and do it that way round.
Yeah.
Possibly, yeah.
I mean, he's played every game this year, apart from, I was just having a look at the draw there.
The game, I think it was the game when he was ill that he missed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the only game he's missed. So he hasn't missed any through rotation.
Yeah.
How's his numbers been though, Brad? Like,
he got 109 in that first game.
Okay, and what about since then though?
Oh, it's leveled out a bit and gone downhill. We even had a single-digit game there.
But he bowled the other night out of an absolute sitter, dropped, and then he dropped a catch himself. So, like, there's 30 points there just in the last game that he should have had. So
he's got 109, 42, 63, 22 and 8. I think those last two scores have obviously put a lot of people off.
Now, who I got first? Marty has said some of those are Hail Mary because their season is shot and they're taking a punt.
Yeah, they could be. You could be right. Or they're not proper Supercoach players like we are. Like they're just, I don't know.
Big Ted's gone. He's waiting on. He's going short and Overton, as we've already said you have to. And then loading up on Keynes. He says, I own Ward and Doomy. Sorry, man. I've given them the absolute
given them the box.
I've given them the Hopawadi for you. All right. So should we get to a few questions? We've got a couple here.
Yep.
We got a couple. All right, you can answer this one. Rossco, Dale Noland. He says, I want to bring Stark and Steve Smith in.
Yeah, I think I answered this question on the thing, but Stark won't be playing this round. I think if anything, he'll probably have a good rest after the Ashes and how he went, and I think he'll play one of the games of the double, if not both. Don't know, but he definitely won't play. He definitely won't play this round.
Marty, another one from Marty. He says, aside from Short and Overton, who from the strikers who is your next best two, Tim? Who is the next best two strikers that you would bring in apart from Short and Overton? You're only allowed two, so don't give us a long answer.
No, look, they're the only two I'm looking at the moment. I've already got 4 Hurricanes and go 2 strikers, and that's about as far as I've gotten so far. I've brought in Short and Overton, and that's about it. My apologies, Marty. You guys have a crack, and I'll have another quick look at it.
Rossco?
Look, as we said, it's those two, and then it's probably the length of the straight at Flemington who to bring in next other than those two. I mean, as we saw, what's his name's popular. Liam Scott's popular, second traded in, but I'm just not convinced by him. I do like Brad's man-child though, Mr. Lloyd Pope. I don't mind him. But I really think that other than those two, I mean, it's like the Hurricanes guys. There's not really anyone that you really have to have for the Hurricanes either. So it's not ideal. But, I think if you're looking to make up ground, Marty, I think I'd look at going a couple of pod plays, to be honest with you, or even potentially bringing in a couple of Renegades on the hop instead and jump the gun on a couple of those guys instead, maybe. Look.
I'm predicting there's going to be a lot of runs scored down in Hobart from both teams. That means that as well, I think there's going to be quite a few wickets, at least for one of the teams. I'm going for Popey and Wood. You've already sort of heard my thoughts on Wood. I think for a pod play, he's definitely worth a shot. They're not paying him that sort of money to rest him. They're gonna play him. Wood's in.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I think Lloyd Pope and Luke Wood are your two best options. Both priced very similar, around between 150 and 120K. 115. Sorry, not 150, 115 and 122K. So yeah, look, I agree, mate. I think they're the next best two.
And on your second part of the question, I
think they're going to be safe. I think they'll be safe.
On the second part of the question, would you risk the biscuit on Mitch Owen if you don't have him already? I am. I feel like he's playing on 2 really good batting decks, one at Adelaide with short boundaries and same at Ninja Stadium with short boundaries too. So I'm bringing him in. I'm going to set him up for a bench loop, but I'm not confident enough to put him in my team and start him, no.
Very good, very good. Don't have a huge amount of questions this week, but that's Davey London's asked, does Tim need a hand with team selection this week with his injuries? Your facial injuries.
With my injuries.
Yeah.
no, thanks, Dave. I think I'll just stay where I am. Thanks, mate. I'll do mine after the show and work it out.
All right. Before we sign off, we're nearly finished, peoples. But before we do go, how about we have a vice captain and captain around there of Rossco first?
At this stage, the VC is probably going to go on Jamie Overton. It'll either be him or Matt Short. I'm going to make my decision once we see the toss and decide then what I'm going to do. The captaincy, I have absolutely no freaking idea at all, to be honest with you, on what I'm going to do with that at this stage. It makes it very difficult when you've got both teams on the double playing each other because you can't really go for a backup plan for another team on a double. So maybe someone with a bit of upside, but it's Marcus Stoinis, could be Cooper Conley, who might be due. Could be Jack Edwards. I don't know. It's a tough one. It really is. So I think most VCs will be either Overton or Short, and C's could be anything really.
Jimmy?
Look, my captains will either be Connolly or I'll stick with Joel Davies. I think just the consistencies there is going to help. And VC, I don't know. It's toss a coin between those two, really, isn't it? It's definitely Overton or Short, and I don't know. I don't know, and I've got zero faith in Hobart Hurricanes. The runs could come from anyone, the wickets could come from anyone. So I think that's probably the best way to go.
Big shout out there to Shauno. Good day, mate. Thanks for joining in. You might have to rewind because we're just about to wrap up in a minute. Vice captain and captain, I'm just going straight out captain. I'm not sure who it'll be. It will either be Short or Overton. I'm just going all out captain. I don't care.
Can I ask why?
What?
Can I ask why?
Well, what's the point in vice captaining?
Well, surely you've got someone that you can loop. Surely you've got salesman or someone in your team that you can use as a loop.
But that's interesting because I don't. I don't. I've got a full squad.
No, I don't. I do have someone I can loop, but I don't know. I just don't know if my brain wants to be hurt again. Tossing up whether, someone gets a 30 and you go, should I do it? Should I not do it?
Yeah.
Fuck it. I'm just going to trust me biscuit and go for it.
Like it. Biscuit for the biscuit, just Brad.
Trust it. Because that second game rolls around and then you'll go, but I only should have.
How about we do a live coin toss right now that decides on who you're going to captain out of Amy Overton or Matt?
No, let my brain ponder on the two of them.
Yeah. Little mate, softy.
Let me see that coin toss and who's batting and bowling first.
Yeah.
Hey boys, random question. Well, two random questions. One, do we have a cheapie of the round? Have either of you boys looked at a cheap option?
Yes, I do. Great question.
My three trade outs. Curran, I think I went Curran, might have been Curran, Marsh, and Hardy, I think was what I was trading out, and trading in Overton and Short, and I've got all of about 63K left or something. So I need a cheapie if I go that way. Otherwise, I'll be boosting.
No, not that cheap. But if you want to, there are three, and people, you can weigh in on this one. There are three Renegades players you should be looking at. I'm bringing in one of them this week in my trades.
Oh, I know one of them. I bet you I know one of them.
Which one do you think I'm getting?
Jason Berendorf at 89K.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
No. Hassan Khan.
Yeah, but he's not cheap.
Oh, he is. He's a BE.
120-something K. That's not cheap.
Oh, it is. It is now. But the way his team's set up, that's my cheapest player. That's about my cheapest player.
70K, 80K. You're not 120K, Brad. Come on.
Oh, yeah, but that's about as cheap as I've got.
Who's your other two then?
Will Sutherland, a steal at the price he's at.
He's not cheap either. He's 130K.
For him, that's cheap. You should be jumping and climbing all over that price.
He
Get yourself a leg up because next week is when the head-to-head finals start, right? So get in now on Renegades because this week, if you lose one or two, it might not be the end of the world, right? Get in on Renegades now because they are cheap. Sandu, which is Big Ted's just commented through. Sandu is the other one, but he's certainly not cheap. He's about 170k, mate.
He's
I looked at him today and went, holy shit.
He's 150k, yes. He's 150k, yes.
150k.
Yeah.
As I said, he's gone way up in price. But, and there's another one there. Oh, Rizwan. How expensive Rizwan?
105, I think.
How cheap's that for him? A keeper, wicket keeper, 105.
With open to batting. So is there no love for Jason Behrendorff? I know he's not in the best of form at the moment, but we know what he's capable of. 89k.
No, not with that bowling attack. No. They got Doggett coming back. God only knows.
You still bowl 4 overs.
But what sort of rotation are they going to have in their double game week?
He'll bowl up front. He'll probably bowl 2 or 3 up front, and then he'll probably bowl one in the surge or at the death.
But will he bowl both games?
Yeah, 100. I've got no doubts he bowls 4 overs both games.
With that bowling attack that they've got, there's going to be some quality missing out. You'll
find, Brad, that what's his name? Brendan Doggett will come in for like Sam Elliott. So that's not going to affect. That's not going to affect Jason Behrendorff at all. But the only other thing I should take into account too is when Zampa's due back too, because he should be due back any time as well. Yeah. I'm just going to throw it out there that he could be a very, very sneaky pot option for the double two. He's only about 110k.
Who's that? Zampa.
Adam Zampa.
Yeah.
If he's named, of course, that is. But I just think, he was in some good form before he copped that injury. So, But I just think Behrendorff's some value. I really do.
No, good thoughts. That didn't help you at all. Sorry, Tim, but not much around that 60k mark, mate. You're running a bit short.
Listen, Tim, you're better off boosting this round. Okay, because you don't need your boost for round 8 and you don't need your boost for round 9 because you're already going to be loaded up for round 9 on your 6s. So you really don't need to keep a boost for those last 2 rounds.
Yeah. No, I hear. Absolutely.
Boost away.
Boost.
All right, folks.
But I do like that. I do like that option of bringing in 2 strikers and bringing in 2 Gades. That absolutely works for me.
Yeah, Gades are a team that you really, people, have a look at your Gades. Don't ignore them because, as I said, if you're playing head-to-head, especially next week, is a do-or-die in head-to-head. So get a jump up on your opposition, get an extra Gade in this week. If you won't, and they're flying. They're absolutely flying. So some of those Gades are going to be must-haves by next week, and they're only going to increase. Will Sutherland goes up 20k. Rizwan goes up 20k. And the other one that I said...
Sandu's going to go up massively too if he has another big round too because he's not break even of -30. So if he goes big again, Sandu.
Yeah, Brendan Sandu.
Because he's got 8 wickets in the last 2 games as well.
They're all going to go up in price, all of that mob. So, have a good look at them. And if you can get one in this week, you'll be thanking me for it. All right, anything else today, Rossco?
That's it. The round wraps up Sunday this week, so we'll be back Monday afternoon to do our next pod. Good luck to everyone this round because it's the last round before head-to-head finals. So good luck everybody with that. And other than that, again, thank you to our Supercoach champion rings for donating the ring as well. And well done to the guys who are killing it at the moment. We've got Jesse, coach of the Jaguars, sitting 20th overall. We've got Rod, coach of Rod Runners, sitting at 30th overall. And I think next one, Sam, coach of Young Fruits, at 72nd overall. So it's well and truly wide open with 3 rounds to go. So good luck, everybody.
Great stuff, guys. Shauno, is Curtis out now? Finn's still back in as keeper? Most definitely, because Inglis is also coming back. So
correct.
Curtis is so far down the pecking order now that, definitely.
Good to hold for a bench loop.
Timmy, anything quick?
No, that's about it for me, boys. Taking Bailey to the Raw game this afternoon and off to the Heat game tomorrow afternoon. So, a bit of family time with the son. Beautiful.
That sounds wonderful. All right. Goodbye from me. Goodbye from all the crew. Yes. Thank you very much for tuning in. We will be back about the same time, the day of the next round starting.
Monday.
Yeah. Monday. Yeah, Monday sounds good. We will be back then. Till then, race, trade your ass off, have fun super coaching, and see ya.
See you. Stay safe. Be good.